So good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today at the ORT Jet Business Bootcamp. My name is Renato, and I run a company called Barrel Group, and part of that is a digital marketing agency. And I want to say thank you very, very much to ORT Jet for inviting me to share my insights around digital marketing. You know, in today's fast-paced, digitally driven world, having a strong online presence is no longer a luxury, but a necessity for businesses of all sizes, small, medium, large. Whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur or just starting out, you know, understanding the power of digital marketing is crucial for your business's success. So today, I think we're going to explore how to harness, you know, this powerful tool of digital marketing to propel your business forward. So let's start with the basics. I mean, marketing is essentially about understanding your customers inside and out. You know, it's the art of anticipating their needs even before they realize it. You know, understanding what your customers want and desire, you can obviously create products, you can create services that kind of truly resonate with them. It's not just about making a sale, you know, it's about building lasting relationships. And marketing is the bridge between your business and your customers, obviously, ensuring that you kind of deliver at every touch point. To build on that, obviously, marketing is the foundation upon which any successful business is built. It's the art of understanding your customers' needs, you know, and creating product services around that meet those needs, building long-lasting relationships. Digital marketing is a powerful extension of this core concept. You know, it allows us as businesses to connect with our customers in a more personalized and interactive way and a more meaningful way. And today we'll delve into, you know, a deeper view of what digital marketing is into the digital realm, exploring how to leverage, you know, the online channels that are available to us and how to reach your target audience effectively. And obviously, at the end of the day, to drive business growth. So digital marketing is a very broad term that encompasses all marketing activities that leverage digital technologies. It involves the promotion of products, services, brands, and even more through you know, forms of digital media, things like social media, social networks, videos, search engine, SEO, and then customer service. You know, the fundamental objective of digital marketing is to engage your customers, build brand awareness, obviously first and foremost, and through that brand awareness, drive sales through, you know, your various digital marketing tactics. So these channels could include social media platforms, you know, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. The big one that's kind of rising up at the moment is TikTok. I've got some information I'm going to share with, or Tracy will share with you guys later on how to leverage TikTok and how to get to use it. We ran a course not so long ago on how to get the best out of TikTok. So I've captured some of that essence and put it into a handout for you guys to, you know, look at afterwards. So the one thing that SEO is something that people kind of always forget. When you got a website, search engine optimization is very important. Having a website, it's how the search engines find you and your business and present your information when somebody's looking for you. And they've got algorithms and bots and things like that, and you need to kind of master, you know, what they're looking for on your website and get those things going. But we'll delve a bit deep into that later. Email marketing, very important, keeping in touch with your customers, your existing customers. Content marketing, that's where you reach people outside of your network, potentially on your social media platforms. Mobile marketing like WhatsApp, estimators and those kind of things. And obviously there's a lot more than that. But by using these online-based digital technologies, businesses like ours can reach a vast audience. And not just a local audience, or it can be a worldwide audience. It's a lot more cost effective than going out and printing something in the newspaper that, you know, you don't even know if people will see it. With digital marketing, you can kind of measure how you're doing in your plan. It's very cost effective and it's absolutely 100% measurable. So I think the first thing you need to understand is your customer journey, and it's really essential for any business to succeed. This visual represents a simplified version of that journey. It's called the marketing funnel. I'm sure we've all heard of that. It starts with both new and existing customers entering at the awareness stage. And then for new customers, the right offer is crucial to capturing, obviously, their attention and guiding them through the funnel. The funnel is there for pain mapping, understanding your customers' challenges, and showcasing how your solutions address those pains. The key, obviously, to moving them forward towards a purchase is part of this pain mapping. Offering existing customers a wealth of information and opportunities at the same time, by introducing new solutions and expanding their engagement with your existing services can drive massive growth through, cross-selling and upselling. Crucially, your customers are your treasure trove, and there's a ton of data that your customers leave behind for you, and obviously this can help you create or master, drill down, and pinpoint focus to target market. Leveraging, obviously, this information could be a game changer in acquiring new business. I mean, once you learn who your customers are, how they work, how they interact with you, where they join a conversation, etc. If you can put that all together and create the best digital marketing plan for your customers and your business, that's crucial. It's a game changer. Yeah, your customers, success stories are powerful tools. People don't underestimate those. There's many ways of collecting and creating success stories, be it on a Google business profile where they give you a 2-sentence review and a whatever 1 or 5-star rating. Sharing their stories there or with you, and you documenting them and then potentially sharing them with new customers, can solidify your position as a market leader and inspire trust and potential new customers. Building a strong relationship post-sale is obviously essential for long-term success. Delivering exceptional service, that goes without saying. Exploring opportunities for expansion. So you've got a customer that you offer one service to, you can always build on that, and then you can in turn, obviously, satisfy these customers into loyal advocates for your business, and then starting the pipeline all over again. So in our digital era, digital marketing is obviously business growth and success. Through varied digital marketing platforms, our business can reach customers, like I said, globally through a personalized experience. It allows you to stay competitive and adaptable to shifting customer behaviors and market trends. I think while you're going through your digital plan and your digital strategy, the one thing that should not be forgotten is look at what your competitors are doing. Sometimes they're doing something right, and you can learn from it. And there's ways to spy on your competitors and gather information on how they're doing things, and tweak your strategy to kind of mimic some of those effective things that they're using against you. Effective marketing is obviously the cornerstone of any successful business. So let's break down some of these key benefits. Obviously, increased sales. We all know what that is. We all want that. By connecting to the right audience and effectively communicating your value proposition, you can drive more customers to your business. Building a strong brand reputation is essential, and this is where you start. I mean, you're not going to go into social media and start sell. People don't appreciate that, and it doesn't build trust. It doesn't build your brand in any form or fashion. So it's about getting a message out there about who you are, what you're offering, and what pain points you can help customers with. So building a brand is essential, and it's definitely the first thing you've got to do. And it's a way to get repeat customers. And then those repeat customers can obviously recommend products and services to others. That's part of building your brand. Customer loyalty from these repeat customers is directly tied to a positive brand experience. By consistently delivering value and meeting your customers' expectations, you can obviously foster long-term business relationships with them. Expanding your market share is a natural result of effective marketing, obviously. So you build your brand and then reach out to people that aren't exactly following you. And to do that, you use things like on social media, like hashtags, or you tag other people. You essentially reach other audiences outside of your followers. If you tag somebody, you potentially reach their audience, because their audience and followers will see that he's been tagged and potentially go and read up what you're talking about. With hashtags, you reach an audience that's following a specific hashtag. Remember that when you're doing your social media planning. Building a strong marketing strategy. I have a template which I'll share with you later, and how to build one. Obviously gives you a strong competitive advantage. Part of that plan is, like I said, looking at your competitors, what are they doing right, what is working for them, and taking some of that information and using it in part of your strategy. It helps differentiate your business, attract new customers, and outperform your rivals. Obviously, if you're stealing something from them. And then marketing is an investment. And if anybody's done any kind of university degrees, you'll know that through a business process, they recommend like 25% of your income should be put back into marketing, and there's benefit in that. How you build your marketing efforts, pay for it, reach the right audiences, and obviously doing it right will maximize the return on your investment. The nice thing about digital marketing is it's data-driven marketing. It helps you make informed decisions. So things like Google Ads, Google Analytics, Google Search Console, all free tools, allows you to see what customers are doing, where they're coming from, where they're going, what they clicked on, how long are they stuck around on your website, which pages did they go to, how quickly did they bounce off of your page. And all these data points help you streamline the process. I mean, if customers are not clicking the buy now button fast enough, maybe the buy button is too low on the page, maybe it's too high on the page, maybe they're missing it, maybe it's, depending on the screen size that you're on, the buy button is off the page, so people can't see it. These data points help you make things a little bit better for customers and make it easier for customers to go and click that buy button. Analyzing all this data and market trends allows you to quickly adapt your strategies, and obviously to try and stay ahead of the curve. So obviously, finally, effective marketing can obviously mitigate risk. By understanding your customers in the market, you can anticipate challenges and opportunities, and obviously allowing you to respond proactively using all the data points. So digital marketing is a broad term, that encompasses all marketing activities that leverage digital technology. It involves the promotion of products, your services, your brand through one or more forms of digital media, so social, email, customer services, search engine optimization. The fundamental objective of digital marketing is to engage your customers, build brand awareness, and obviously drive sales through various platforms that you use, putting people into funnels. These channels, like social media, the search engine optimization for your website, email marketing, creating content for both your website and for your social media platforms, mobile marketing, sending people WhatsApps, and many more. These online-based technologies you can help to reach a vast audience in a way that is both cost-effective and measurable. Each platform works a little bit differently. So when you're looking at social media, for example, business to business, you'd kind of look at LinkedIn, your wording, your tone, and your message is slightly different to that of Facebook, which is more personal based. And then when you obviously creating messages, keep that in mind. When you're creating content, keep that in mind. As an example, if you don't have an email database that you can send out emails to for customers, but you've got a LinkedIn profile, you don't have a website, and you want to start creating content, you could use LinkedIn to attract other businesses and talk to other businesses through setting up, what's it called? Like a blog post, but you can assign the blog post to an email newsletter if you like. LinkedIn has got its own form of a newsletter. So you write your article, which is about 1,000+ words. You post it inside this newsletter that LinkedIn allows you, and anybody that's following the newsletter will be notified that there's a new post by your company, and they'll get an email in their mailbox saying, "Hey, there's a new post." They'll get a little excerpt of the post and a button that says, read more, and then it'll take them to the LinkedIn profile. So it's a way to bring customers back to you. Something to keep in mind. the digital landscape is a dynamic and ever-evolving space where consumers spend an increasing amount of their time. I'm an avid digital user. I would rather sit and buy something off of Amazon and take a lot than go, bouncing around shops, walking into people, getting bumped around, or reckless drivers, whatever it is. I'd rather sit at home and order that pair of shoes than go to a shop. So, the shops are now coming to your home. They're now coming to your business. They're coming to your desk. And digital marketing is about harnessing this online world to connect with your audience in a really meaningful way. It's about being where your customers are, understanding their digital behavior, and delivering messages that resonate with it when they're looking for you. From all these platforms, the digital realm, it offers a vast array of opportunities to build brand awareness, engage with the customers, drive sales. I'm going to keep hammering these points through the presentation. You have to embrace digital marketing. It's not a nice to have anymore. It's definitely a requirement. You use it to unlock new possibilities, growth, success. It's beyond simply just reaching customers. Digital marketing provides unparalleled opportunities for business to understand your audience, measure the impact you're having on the audience and your customers, optimize your strategy. With tools and analytics at your fingertips, you can gain valuable insight into customer behavior, what their preferences are, what their buying journeys look like. There's so much you can do with data. Digital marketing is often more cost-effective than traditional methods. I don't know if anybody's ever had a look at what's these signs cost on the side of the road for a month. It's expensive. It's really bad. And putting an ad on the radio, it's really, really, really expensive. And then you've only got that audience that you can potentially reach. So taking that amount of money and pumping it into digital, you can see who you're reaching. You can tweak your strategy on the fly. You can use your money so much more cost effectively by going digital. It allows you to you can target specific demographics, specific interests, specific behaviors. You can reduce that wasted spend on a billboard that sits there for a month and then it's gone, and you've got a piece of canvas that you have to put in the garage somewhere that never gets seen again. The ability to track and measure your campaigns in real time enables you to make proper data-driven adjustments to optimize your return on investment. So a successful digital marketing strategy. This is your roadmap to online success. So we'll break down these essential steps. So firstly, obviously, define your goal. This is very important, and your objectives. What do you want to do? What do you want to achieve? With any marketing efforts, not just digital marketing, but this is the beginning of your plan. Are you aiming to increase sales? Do you want to build your brand awareness? Do you want to generate leads? Setting up clear and measurable goals is the guide to your entire strategy going forward. You don't have to have one; you can have a couple. I think you should have an overarching strategy from a digital perspective, and then potentially a strategy per social media platform, for search engine optimization, for your website, and for your email marketing. Next, you need to identify your target audience. Understand who they are. Who are you trying to reach? Create detailed profiles of your ideal customer, including their demographics, their interests, their behaviors. This knowledge will help you tailor your message and choose the right channels to reach that audience. If we have time, I'll pop through one of the handouts, and I'll show you how to use AI to assist you in creating that. Helping you define your target audience. Again, same with AI. You can use it to conduct a competitive analysis. This is really crucial. Evaluate what your competitors are doing. What are their digital strategies? Identify gaps in yours and in the market, and create more opportunities for your business. Understanding your competition it will differentiate you and help you stand out. Once you have a clear understanding of all your goals, you know who your target audience is, you know who your competition is, it's time to develop your digital marketing channels. Select the channels that best align with your audience and your goals. create the content calendar to ensure consistent and relevant content creation for each channel. Remember to allocate your budget wisely across each of the different channels. If you don't do, for example, if you don't plan your Google ads or pay-per-click strategy well, you could throw away money or leave money on the table. So sit down and think about what you want to achieve, how you want to spend the money effectively across each channel. And then obviously at the end of that, measure, analyze, and start at the beginning again. Optimize your strategy. Continuously track your performance, using all the key metrics that are available to you. Analyze all the data, gain insight into what's working and what's not. And then obviously use these insights to refine and improve your results, reach the customers you want. Remember, digital marketing is an ongoing process, and you need to adapt to it. Google, for example, is a search engine. They've got algorithms and spiders and things, and they change the algorithm twice a year. So to get the best out of it, you've got to follow what they do, understand what they're doing, understand how they're changing. Again, it's use AI. It can help you. Gemini, for example, is a Google tool, and Gemini has got a lot of access into what Google does as a whole. So use it to help you create a strategy that works from a Google Ads perspective, understand what other people are doing. Okay, we've done that. Sorry. Okay, let's talk about search engine optimization, SEO. So SEO is the process of improving your website's visibility to search engines. Search engines are, even with the AI coming out, search engines are still really relevant. So I'll use Google. Google's the biggest search engine in the world at the moment, 95% of the market share. So what Google does is, with its algorithms and its little spiders, they go to they find your website, they crawl the website, so they have a look at your sitemap, so they look at how many pages you got, they have a look at your content, they actually read the content. They're intelligent enough to understand that you're creating content and it's human legible. And then they take that information and they index, and then they tag it with various tags and keywords and whatever people are looking for at the time, they tag it with those keywords. If somebody goes to a search engine and says, hey, I'm looking for XYZ, and you create great content and you've got, Google knows about you and likes your website, the way it's built, it'll present your web page on the first, search engine result pages. In order to achieve that, there are two main types of SEO. So there's on-page SEO and off-page SEO. On-page is obviously on your website. This focuses on building your website's authority and reputation to search engines, through using the right keywords, creating high-value content, high-quality content, improving your website structure, as I mentioned earlier. Is that buy now button in the right place? Is that call to action in the right place of your website? If you look at data and you start focusing on your data, you'll see that if your website doesn't catch a user's attention immediately, they basically see the first 25% of your web page, because that's what pops up in their browser window on any platform. If you don't have a call to action or you don't grab their attention in there, you lose them. That's called bounce rate. We'll get to that. And then off-page SEO, it's this focuses on building website authority and building on your reputation through external things like creating backlinks from other highly ranked websites, creating backlinks to content that you create, blogs that you've written, gaining additional authority by speaking to other authoritative website companies in the industry and get them to kind of say, hey, we've seen a new nice piece of content that we really like. Have a look, and there's a link to your piece of content, to your blog. So by investing in SEO, this is very important. SEO is a strategy, it's not a tactic. So you're not going to see benefits through SEO immediately. It's a long-term thing. If you start working on an SEO project on your website, it's going to take anything from 6 months before you start seeing the fruits of your labors. So doing this is going to help you increase, organic traffic. You don't have to pay for people to come to the website like you would through pay-per-click. It will increase your brand visibility, obviously drive more, leads and sales. So this is an ongoing process. It's consistent effort. You have to do a little bit every day until you find the sweet spot and the golden egg, to hit all the right buttons from Google or Yahoo or whoever. And then it's maintenance thereafter. So, very important to do. You have to do this if you have a website. You can't leave this behind. If you plan on a digital marketing strategy, this has got to be the base, and it's an ongoing thing. You cannot leave this behind. Talk about social media marketing. So we all know about the Facebooks, the Instagrams, the TikTok, and the likes. These tools are a way for you to connect with your audience. Look at what all the big guys are doing, how they get people involved with their brand. It's how they share their experiences with their product. Getting people to push their product through social media, like reaching customers that they'd never normally reach by getting people to talk about their product that've got a large following. So it's no longer is social media just a place for you to share your meal that you're having at a restaurant. It's a really, really powerful tool to build a brand, build your brand awareness, engaging with your customers, obviously driving sales, which is what we all want. Then I think you've got to think about what is the platform, where your ideal audience is. You've got to figure out where they go, where they hang out. And in that process, choosing the right platforms to reach your audience is crucial. TikTok for us older generation is quite a tough pill to swallow. But if you want the younger generation to be one of your customers, you've got to focus. Creating videos there's so many tools out there today that will help you create it. You don't have to show your face, just show your brand. You're going to reach them. There's TikTok, YouTube. If this is where your audience is focusing or hanging out, you've got to be there. When choosing, obviously, part of the choice and where you want to go and use social media, you got to factor in, who the demographic ages, race, all that. What are their interests? How do the platform algorithms work? How do I get that viral video? TikTok at the moment, if you're using TikTok, if you get the right message, it's authentic and it's natural, not pre-orchestrated, you could have a viral video hit hundreds of thousands of people without even trying too hard. It's easier for a company to reach a lot of people on TikTok today than it is on Facebook. These social media platforms is about building your relationships, creating a community around your brand and your product. Share content that's valuable. Allow people to comment. Ask them to comment. Ask them to agree. Run a poll. When those messages come through and the people have actually commented, respond to the messages. Don't just leave them unread, even if it's just a like or if they're asking for a question, answer them. Engage with these people. Run engaging campaigns, which is, do a poll, which is better, pink or blue, and then let them select. And then, it helps you plan things differently. How you deliver content, how, which is the best color, which is the best flavor, what's the best sound, which is best. So choose the right social media platform is essential for maximizing your impact. Obviously, when you do this right, you can amplify your brand, foster engagement, you can drive sales without spreading yourself too thin across multiple places. So don't try and use every single social media platform. It doesn't work for everybody. The top platforms, when I talk to a new customer these days, they say, which one should I use? I'm like, okay, well, what kind of business are you running? Who are your customers? If it's business to business or business to consumer, which is the one that you focus the most on? Business to business, use LinkedIn, absolutely. business to consumer, Facebook is there. If you like to get hammered and get like really harsh feedback on what you do and from the community, TikTok's the place to go. If you want to engage younger generations, sorry, that was not TikTok, that was X. TikTok, you kind of reach the younger generation. So the benefits of choosing the right platforms is obviously increase your reach. You connect with the target audience that you target. You're finding out where they spend their time. You build relationships by enhancing your engagement and you obviously foster loyalty through your community. Reaching a wide audience at a relatively low cost on the right platform. If you choose the wrong platforms, you could waste your resources. But like I said, not everybody likes TikTok, X, Twitter. Everybody still remembers it. If you want to get battered and bruised, everybody's got a voice on Twitter. Not always nice stuff to say. If you're trying to reach a CEO or a senior executive, LinkedIn's the place to go. And if you can't reach them directly, you can reach them roundabout through Facebook. I mean, their family uses Facebook, family, friends. People have conversations at barbecues and family dinners. And when you've got friends around, something will always pop up. Somebody's seen something and mention to the CEO or CIO or the CFO you're trying to reach and say, hey, I heard you're looking for this. These guys do this. I saw it on Facebook. Here's the link. And then they'll start noticing you on LinkedIn. Using a lot of the social media platforms or all of them, you're going to dilute your message because every message, obviously, every platform has a slightly different message, a slightly different way of talking to people. And then, you'll kind of fail to capitalize on opportunities. You'll miss them by spreading yourself too thin on multiple social media platforms. So we spoke about SEO and a website. If you have a business and you have a shop front or you work from an office, whatever it is, and you don't have a website, Google Business, it's called Google Business Places. I'm sure you've all done research on Google in the past. Say, hey, I'm looking for something near me. And then a whole bunch of businesses pop up and you can see, pictures of the business, you get an address, you can see reviews, you can see about them, there's a link to websites, you can even get directions or call them directly from the listing. If you don't have a Google Business profile for your business, you are missing the boat in a big way. It's a great place to tell people in a very short way. It's like your CV. Give them all the basics, who you are, give them a write-up about what you do, where do you work, where's your offices, how to get hold of you, what you do in a short little description, some photos about your business. It gives you a place to post. So you can post articles or not very long articles, but you can post updates on what you're doing, launching a new product, and people that are looking for you or for what you offer will always find you on Google Business. And Google Business, once you've got it, you'll appear on maps. You'll get a little, once you're approved and verified, you'll get a little, a map point, a little half, that circle arrow thing with a hole in it on top of your business on a map. So it reaches far. It is also a base and part of the SEO strategy. If you have a Google Business, obviously there's a link that points to your website from Google Business. So obviously right now, Google will be the #1 authority in search results. And because you're already on Google and using the platform, you will potentially inherit that backlink, the authority on that backlink to your website. There's lots of benefits to creating a Google Business profile. It's not difficult to set it up. It will take you a little while. One suggestion I can give you is if you're setting up your Google Business profile for the first time, you're going to get to a point where it's going to say verified. Do not, in South Africa, do not choose the postcard. We don't have a postal service, so you'll never get it. If you have the option to go have a phone call or a video chat, do that rather, because that's easiest. You'll have a conversation, they'll set up a meeting with you. You'll have to download an app, it's called Google Video or something. They'll want you to walk around your business, showing them reception, the front entrance, the logo, somebody's desk, the people working, whatever it is that your business does. And then once you've done that with them, and the call will take 10, 15 minutes. They will then approve and verify your business. So it will now be visible to everybody on the internet. So I've got some stats here. So I mentioned earlier, I was a little bit over the search engine market share in South Africa from June, like June 23, June 24. I didn't get the latest one for this year, but it hasn't changed a lot. Google has 94.6%. So 94% of people in South Africa, when they go out and look for something these days, they use Google. Followed by Bing. I mean, if you're buying a brand new laptop with Windows on it, Bing's already installed. So some of us get looped in and start using Bing until we figure out how to change it to Google. And then the rest, I mean, Yahoo, DuckDuckGo, Yandex, they kind of 0.0 kind of percent. Very beneficial to have this Google business. Should be part of your strategy. I can't sign forward. Okay, let's talk about some free tools out there. I've touched on some of them already. There's obviously many technologies you can use. There's paid tools, there's free. Let's go click there. There we go. So there's a wealth of free tools out there to help you implement your strategy, your digital marketing strategy. So we all know what this is like. You phone somebody when you're first starting out a business, a designer, and say, "Hey, I need a logo," and then they're going to charge you 2.5, 3, 4, 20,000 rand, $1 million plus rand. There's a tool out there called Canva, which is a fantastic tool. It's for free. It helps create visually appealing graphics without needing any professional design skills. There's templates and things that'll help you create it. Canva is a great tool to help you prepare your social media content too. You can see on the top left there's the business profile, which we just touch on. There's Google Ads, Google Ad Manager. There's Google Maps platform, which links into the business profile. Google Analytics, Google Trends, what's happening in the market, how things are changing. If you just open up a browser and you go to google.com, google.co.za, and you start typing, you usually see there's a little window that drops down with all the potential search terms that Google recommends you, try and guide you down a path. Those terms that they are showing is, what people have been searching for in the last couple of days. What are the highest things people are searching for? So this is a potential tool to help you create the keywords that people want or people are looking for. So if you're creating a piece of content or if you're updating your website, those keywords is what you want to use to bring people to your website. So that's a good way of doing a bit of keyword research. It's free. It's there. Google Analytics, same thing. There's a keyword plan in the back. You can go and type in what your business is about, what your keywords are, and it will come back and say, these are additional suggested keywords. This is how many times it was searched in the last month, how much competition you have on those keywords, and how highly ranked they are on the page. So there's generally a number that says on page 20, page 1, and it'll help you find the right keywords for what you're trying to achieve. Email marketing, so things like MailChimp. It's a user-friendly platform for building email lists, sending out targeted email campaigns. Something to look into. There's others out there as well. There's many others. I mean, if you're using a thing like Hootsuite as a customer relationship management tool, they also have a built-in email platform to send out email to, the customers that you have inside HubSpot. Tools like, Social Pilot, Sprout Social, they help you. Once you have your plan for social media, you can go and schedule them on these kind of programs where you can create your content in Canva, put your words together, upload it into one of these Social Sprout, Social Pilot, and you can schedule posts. On the free side, I think it's like 50 to 30 days, and there's obviously a limit on posts that you can schedule. And then once you schedule them, you don't worry about them. It's, if you've set it to go at 10 o'clock on Friday morning on Facebook, 10 o'clock Friday morning, Facebook will get a new post. And it doesn't cost you any money. Then the big thing, AI. There's so much so many tools out there: ChatGPT, Gemini. Um, what is the Microsoft version? Copilot. There's Perplexity. There's DeepSeek. These tools, if you use them correctly, and over time you will learn for your brand, it can help you do a whole bunch of stuff. Creating content, creating a content schedule, finding the right tools that make sense to you, writing the words, verifying that the words that have been written are, you know, aimed at your target audience. Help you create a target audience. Help you build that target audience. Take advantage of these things. Okay, so I think that's it. I'm not finished, but we've covered a lot of ground today, from the fundamentals of marketing to the intricacies of digital landscape. Remember, digital marketing is about more than just having a website. It's about building relationships. It's about understanding your audience, delivering value. Don't forget about the power of Google business profiles. Local visibility. You need that. The potential of AI to streamline your efforts is astronomical. I mean, don't be scared of it. It doesn't bite. You can talk to it these days. You can download one of these apps, a DeepSeek or a Gemini, to your phone, and you can have a conversation with it. It responds back to you. You can ask it questions. You can start a conversation on any kind of topic you think of, business related or not. Take these first steps, explore the possibilities, start implementing, your digital marketing strategy today. If you don't have one, your business depends on it. Um, it's not going to happen yet, but there's a poll coming shortly. Could you just complete the feedback on that? I'm going to stop sharing my presentation. I'm going to switch over to another page. I'm going to take you through, there's a couple of handouts that I'm giving after the show. And I will show you what these are. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to help you build your digital marketing as a plan, firstly. So you'll get this at the end of the session. So this is just a basic template on where to start. So let's ask the general normal stuff. It's going to ask it's the general marketing stuff it will ask. If you don't understand it, I'll explain to you how to get there. Like, build the target audience, and like I said, target audiences are different on different social media platforms. You will handle an existing customer very differently to somebody that you're trying to reach, and get their business from. So using the template to help you build a strategy across all of those platforms, defining your target audience, doing competitive analysis. Um, I've added in using AI to help you create this persona. When you've gathered this information here and you've got a good understanding of kind of what your business is, you already have this, right? You know what your product is, you know what pain point it's fixing, you know where you work, you know where you offer your services, you know which city you base, all that kind of stuff. Once you've got that information, if you feed it into AI, there's a potential prompt. It can help you build, with that information, help you build a persona. And once you've got the persona from AI, you can tweak it. Add this, I've missed that, I didn't think about this, please update it. Depending on the version of AI you use, you can ask it to put it into a document format, and you can put it into, this template, so that you've got something to go back on every time you're working on, whatever strategy. Once you've created your persona, for example, you could then take it back to the hey, I want to talk about X, Y, and Z in the following month. I want to talk to these people, paste your persona in, and create me 30 posts for the month of June on this topic. And it'll come back and it'll create you whatever. If you choose LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, it'll create the post for you. It'll create a blog post for you, specifically targeting these people. If you follow this process, so there's the initial prompt, you tell it what you want it to do, you refine and follow up with questions, you tell it to critique what it's produced from the persona that you created, and then you can come and populate the template with what you've got or create that piece of work. So this is the blank persona template. Then I mentioned TikTok earlier. I did a TikTok presentation for a couple of weeks ago on how to get the best out of it, and I'm going to share it with you guys. So that I know TikTok's a new thing. People are a bit worried about it. There's concerns and reservations, but have a look at this document. Go through it. There's step-by-step guides. There's how to use AI to help you with it. How to what are the key metrics that you should be focusing on, and then you've got Canva to help you create content. Cool. So I know there was a whole bunch of stuff in chat. Let me have a look. Okay, nothing in the chat. Do we have any questions? I'll open the floor.
Good day.
Yes.
I'm very grateful.
Malky.
This is very insightful. I'm enjoying this conversation so much, and I'm gaining so much tools, and I'm very grateful. I wanted to ask a question regarding Instagram specifically.
Yep.
I have opened an account maybe a month and a half ago, and I've researched much before to create the best optimization. And even so, I have about 5,000 views within that time. The engagements with the posts are pretty low, and I have done like the words and the hashtags and the images. So I've learned also that it's very important to go with the videos rather than images. But I was wondering if you can give me maybe more advice regarding how to grow that to reach my niche target market.
Okay, so let me ask you the question first. Is your target market at Instagram?
Sorry, can you please repeat the question?
Is your target market only in Instagram?
Mostly.
Mostly. You do know that Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp is all owned by a company called Meta. They're all linked together. Okay.
Right.
So if you go ahead and create yourself a Facebook account, the same name and set it up the same way that you have with Instagram, there's a tool called Meta Business. I don't know if you know about it.
Yes.
Okay, so in Meta Business, there's a lot of things that you can do. You can track. There's analytics. There's reports, and then you can obviously schedule and plan and post, well in advance, and then measure the feedback and the interaction from there. So that's the first thing I'd suggest you do, because then you can
So
have.
if I may say, what happened is that I opened the Facebook and it says that it's violated, and then it's like not granting me access for like 3 years. I don't know, something there.
Oh wow. Okay, that's something else to kind of have a chat on. But then I think when you're looking at your hashtag, how are you researching hashtags and how are you choosing the hashtag? And then lastly, are you using your business name as a hashtag?
I'm using the name as well as others, and I'm mixing popular ones that my niche target market are using, as well as ones that are created separately for the purpose of the post. So it's mixed.
Okay. Okay. And how many do you use on average?
How many views?
Hashtags. How many hashtags do you use on a post on average?
About 20.
Okay, that's good enough. I think they recommend around about 15 for Instagram. I think the next thing you should do is potentially whatever the post is, whatever you're pushing, try and create two versions of it. Similar message, different words, different colors, and see how people react to that. So it's called A/B testing. So, does a pink background perform better than a blue background? Does big bold text perform better than, small normal text? Asking a question in the one and making a statement in the other, which one, do those kind of tests. Find out if you want people to interact and respond and things like that, you need to tell them to do so. Like ask them, tell me what your thoughts are. Like comments below on whatever it is. Ask them
Right.
to do that.
Thank you so much. I'm very grateful.
You're welcome. Anything else? Anybody else have any questions?
Hi, morning.
Morning. How are you, Tammy?
All right, and you?
All right, thank you.
I just wrote on the chat. I see you never mention. I mean, you mentioned now WhatsApp being linked in Meta with Instagram and Facebook. How is that kind of advertising on WhatsApp and getting your business up?
Yeah, it's a good platform. It has its place. Not everybody likes receiving WhatsApp, so you got to be cognizant of that. But absolutely use it. It is there. You obviously need to create a business profile, I would suggest, as a get-go. Tend to get yourself a pay-as-you-go sim if you like, if cost is a challenge, and create your business on that sim rather than having it on your personal phone. And then that number gets assigned to the WhatsApp business profile, and then you bring it into Meta Business, and you can manage it from there.
Okay.
This is a suggestion, but yes, it's a good place. It's a good tool. People respond well to WhatsApp. I mean, WhatsApp is widely used around the country. There are limitations to it, and how you got to plan it correctly. I think there's limitations on the size of groups, so remember that. If you want to reach all 250 people all at the same time, 251, somebody's going to miss out, as an example.
Okay.
But yeah, it's not a bad place to do things, but just keep things in mind, like, are your clients happy, or your potential clients happy to receive that? Have they given you permission to do that with the Poppy Act today? Because now you're sending direct messages to, a specific person or a group of people. Do they like receiving it? Are they happy to receive it? Have they got a way to opt out?
Agree. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Renato, we have two more questions, one from Jackie Sack. So Jackie, if you'd like to go ahead and open your audio, and then the next one would be from Odette Lipchip.
Thank you very much, Renato, for the informative talk. It's been very interesting.
You're welcome.
I wanted to know, from a perspective, I'm a designer myself, but I don't know how to do coding. So what would be the best free tools out there to code an app that is as good as something that has been used with coding?
There are many. So you're going to have to do a bit of research. I don't know all of them. I can't name a lot of them. I'm a little bit more technically inclined. I'm also from the design side. I'm also from an IT side. There's tools like Cody, which work with an IDE, which is Visual Studio Code offered by Microsoft. You can get that. It is an AI, kind of like a chatbot, like a Gemini, and you can ask it to write. You tell it what you want, it'll create it. It needs a bit of input and a bit of guidance, and you have to be a little bit technical to kind of use that. There's other apps there's software as a service. There's lots of them, where you can just tell this web browser what you're looking for, and it will pop out, kind of what you're looking for, and then you tweak it. So there are a lot of things out there. I can't name one thing. And you're going to have to obviously look at what you're trying to achieve, what you're trying to create, and if the platform has the capability to do that in the right languages. That's vague, I know. I'm sorry.
It would be for like an app that would be both downloadable for Android and Apple, if that gives you an idea.
Yeah. So there are, that drills it down for you to search again, to fewer platforms, and there absolutely are platforms out there to help you do this. If you are a little bit skeptical about kind of doing this on your own, there's things like Fiverr, where you can reach a developer specifically around mobile apps, and pay them a couple of dollars for the program. around the world. It's another option.
Okay. And it just gives me an idea, because I don't want to pay millions just to code an app that can be done for free, kind of a thing.
Yeah. 3, you got to have a bit of knowledge. You got to have a bit of experience. You got to have a bit of technical capability to kind of steer something in the direction that you want to get to, and you can't just give it a picture. You got to give it a whole bunch of stuff, like what it's got to do, what the flow looks like, what kind of language you want to put it in, and getting it onto things like Apple App Store, if you're doing it on your own, can be very challenging. But if you've got a designer, developer that is assisting you, they know the steps to go through. They could probably tick a lot of boxes for you before you even start, and to help you get into being approved on iOS, for example. So you got to think about that too.
Because I want it to be able to be downloaded for people as an app to use daily if they want, both on Apple and Android. So I'd need to know how to get it coded in a way that's both compatible with both of them, and be able to load it onto the essential stores.
Yes, absolutely. The third option is offering it as a software as a service, where people have to go open their phone, wherever it is, phone, desktop, browser, type in the address and log into a tool, which is, they don't have to download on their phone, but they can use it on the internet.
Because
You don't
that's
have to
the
jump through the
ideal thing,
hoops.
is to download it on a phone, because that's what I want to ultimately create, is a phone app.
Yeah. No, I get that. Absolutely. I'm just saying there's a third option.
Okay.
So you're going to have to do your research on obviously both operating systems, what the do's and don'ts are, what are the things that they require you to do at a minimum before they will accept or approve or even review your app.
Okay.
And then obviously if you're talking to somebody on Fiverr, for example, these guys should know this already. So it'll help you in the long run. Again, AI will potentially help you through every step of the way, but it takes a bit of time, it takes a bit of thinking. It's not something people do profess. I haven't seen it work, that they can create an app in 4 hours. I haven't seen anything tangible out of that, but there are AI tools that allow you to do it. There is a cost for that, obviously. So nothing's for free, unfortunately.
Okay, not a problem. Thank you for answering my question.
No worries, you're welcome.
So Renato Dequcinis, her audio is not working. So she's asked a question on how good are the digital big screens on the pavements?
Same thing as print, right? You don't know the audience that's going to be passing by there. You don't know how many people are going to see that. But if you're talking digital screen, you know, a large portion of our population in South Africa drive in taxis, and all taxis today have got screens in them, which you could potentially use for marketing. So it has its place. It's not cheap. It has its place. But if you're looking at a digital space, I mean, digital from a social media and a website, and you'll get far more bang for your buck, and you have so many tools and things to kind of help you monitor, who's seeing it, how they're seeing it, which works best for them, where your target audience is, and an adaptive strategy where on a big screen, you've got a lot of money. You're going to sink a lot of money into creating the content for that digital display, so a video. If it's got humans in it and they've got a script, that price just skyrockets, because you've got to pay the person whose face is on there some sort of royalty. Then you've got to pay the people that own the actual digital board, the TV screen, to put your ad up there for whatever it is a month, whatever. So it's not cheap. I'm going to say that, and there's cheaper ways of achieving that if that's where you want to go.